By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Akibino Trust, the name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. Thank you for your patience, by the way. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. Let's keep it moving. We're getting to day 20 of Sean Combs' trial, aka Diddy's trial. Yeah, man. Let's get straight into this particular case for this day. So the witnesses on this day was Brendan Paul, the former assistant and alleged drug mule or the narcotics mule, and also Joseph Cerciello, Special Agent, U.S. Attorney's Office, SDNY. Every time I read the name Special Agent, read the word Special Agent, I think of power, and you know, Special Agent Greg Knox, Special Agent this and that. You know what I'm saying? AUSA Valdez. Like, I just figured that. Anyway, let's just get straight to it. So, Brendan Paul, all right, he was an assistant to Sean Combs from 2022 to March 2024 and was arrested on March 25th, 2024 at Miami Opar Locker Executive Airport for possessing 0.7 grams of cocaine. Charges were dropped. Interesting. Why was charges dropped? In December 17, 2024, after pre-trial diversion program testifying under immunity. All right. So the testimony duration lasted around 3 hours by AUSA Madison Smizer and 1.5 hours cross-examination by Brian Still, 1 hour redirect by AUSA Mary Slavic, which was around 30 minutes. Now, he was hired from 2022 as a personal assistant, initially for workouts, so a personal trainer. Is that not that job? Is that not a personal trainer? So why is that an assistant? Anyway, Paul's role expanded for packing bags, coordinating meals, setting up hotel rooms for king nights, aka blank-offs, and procuring narcotics. He described Sean Combs' demand for militant dedication, likening it to the SEAL Team 6. Brendan Paul used Adderall and cocaine to stay awake for long hours. So you were doing drug narcotics on the job. All right, cool. I say cool, but it's not cool. Reflecting a high pressure environment, but if you're feeling coerced to take it because you need to keep up to do the job, do you know what I mean? All right, cool. And if you really needed a job, and fair enough. And if you know he can stop you from getting a job, fair enough. Okay, cool, understandable. But is that what he's gonna say? We'll see. But he hasn't said that. But this is just a brief summary anyway, to be honest with you, what I'm going to give you, because I've been on the live stream for quite some time. And knowing that other things also, yeah, I won't go into that. So the link to the charter. So the SEAL Team 6 reflects the enterprise control and logistics, yeah? So that is basically RICO. Then the long hours and narcotics used for King Knights suggest coercion logistics. That links to blank trafficking. All right. Hotel setups tied to interstate events, which is linked to transportation. HR dysfunction. He also testified that the HR failed to withhold federal taxes to withhold for 8 months, and complaints went directly to Sean Combs, not HR. Yeah, indicating an informal structure. That's the issue with it being informal sometimes. You need a proper structure. So in regards to that, HR dysfunction supports informal enterprise, which also which is linked to RICO. The Sean Combs suggests coercion. Direct control also links to Sean Combs suggests coercion, which is blank traffic. Because you got to think about it. Anyway, but he's his personal assistant, and technically that is his actual direct boss. So that's a bit of a tricky one. So employment end. Brendan Paul's role ended after March 2025, as we mentioned. And And basically he's saying he was sweeping Mr. Combs or Sean Combs' room and put it in his bag to put it elsewhere and forgot to put it elsewhere. So again, linked to charges. Blank possession, so narcotics possession ties to enterprise narcotics trafficking, which is RICO. Yeah. Miami arrest confirms interstate activity, which is transportation. So the cross-examination, which is done by Brian Steele, emphasized Paul's multifaceted role, arguing narcotics tasks were a minor part and portrayed King Knights as personal relaxation with Jane, not co-host events. Yeah. Paul agreed he saw no hesitation from Jane and had good experiences with Sean Combs. Now, it's interesting that he said that only because when you think about it, he's seeing it from a different perspective where he's looking at it like, well, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And obviously, if he is, this is the other thing, if he's doing a job while he's actually intoxicated or the drugs are still in his system, then maybe what he's seeing is not what he's seeing, or maybe I don't know what he's hearing. What is not what he's hearing. Again, I'm trying to be neutral, but I don't know what's going on. But it's pretty much evident from Jane's testimony, but also from the evidence in terms of the video footage, that there is coercion going on and there is an element of uncomfortability. And yes, that can happen. Sometimes you can be comfortable with something at first, and then you can be uncomfortable. And it's okay to say no, and it's okay to make sure you just proceed with not actually going ahead. It's that simple. You know what I mean? It's really that simple. All right, so he mentioned, so the link to that is Still's questions aimed at weaken enterprise and coercion, but I feel it was pretty poor, if I'm honest. AUS Slavic asked about Paul's narcotics purchases, confirming more than 5, less than 10, and hard narcotics buys, and clarified he did not give Sean Combs $5,000 cash in other contexts. But still, if you're still carrying the drugs and he was caught with the drugs, and do you know what I mean? Come on, man. The defense is absolutely weak. All right, this one, you could argue that there is a level, whatever, of maybe the defense have something here, but maybe they don't. I don't know. You let me know in the comment section below. Payment methods. Paul testified that Sean Combs provided cash for narcotics purchases to maintain anonymity, with Paul delivering dealers' names: Guido, One Stop, Baby Go, and Ovi. You see? There you go. Like, he knew. Here's the thing. Swear. Here's the thing. Sean Combs out, he was in the wrong. Why would you want to pay just cash? Because you'd be like, oh, well, just take. No, why are you paying cash? And you can say, yeah, but it's for personal use. But again, if I'm honest, I think it should be a crime to be taken, unless it's actual, genuine, legal. I think it should be a crime. Anyway, it was very high profile, important. So standard quote: it was very important to keep his profile low. People could screenshot it. People could say, hey, I was asked to get narcotics for Diddy. Now, the link to the charges: cash payments indicate organized narcotics trafficking. That's linked to RICO. As you already know, blank offs support coercion, which is obviously blank trafficking. Discrete, which is obviously discrete. Let me repeat that again. Discrete narcotics for blank offs support coercion, because why the hell do you need narcotics to be able to, do you know what I mean? And obviously we now know what a blank off is, and you can say, yeah, well, there's no harm in being a freak. Yeah, but there is in this particular case, all right? So hush your gums. Anyway, so transportation, so interstate narcotic logistic aligned with travel, which is obviously transportation. All right. So the drug types and frequency, he procured marijuana, cocaine, ecstasy, ketamine, Tootsie, which is pink cocaine, and ketamine lollipops, spending thousands. More than 5, less than 10 was hard drug purchases, including 1 kilo cocaine, 50 MDMA for NY to Atlanta. That is RICO. I don't even have to read that, go further down to know that's RICO. The links to the charges one more time. So narcotics orders show enterprise logistics, yeah. Ecstasy, ketamine for blank offs, facilitate coercion, blank trafficking. Like, why do you need a horse tranquilizer blood? Like ketamine is a horse tranquilizer. I first heard about that from someone in the UK. Like, I'm not gonna say the, in fact, I forgot the name anyway. But like, she was very outspoken and she's a flat out racist. Yeah? I can't say that word. She was a flat out, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I first heard about that, and she'd been taking that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to think to myself, how does anyway, let's keep it moving. So where was I? So NY to Atlanta order confirms interstate activity, which is transportation. Ecstasy, ketamine for blank off, facilitate coercion, which is blank trafficking, and also narcotic orders show enterprise logistics, which is links to RICO. All right. So Paul acted as a middleman, using cash from Sean Combs or staff tested narcotics to seek to prove loyalty. That's coercion right there. Because if it's for you, why are you? You know what I mean? I lost track of where I was. Give me a second, people. Where was I? I'm gonna see if I can get this real quick. Give me a second. All right, so he denied other cash transaction, example $5,000. He wanted to prove, so basically, Brendan Paul wanted to prove his loyalty by testing out the drugs or the narcotics. So again, loyalty-driven drug or narcotics task reflects enterprise control, which is RICO. All right, blank trafficking, which is blank narcotics testing to just coercive environment. Now, the cross-examination suggested Paul's personal drug use, 0.7 grams of cocaine, as personal. But if he's letting you know that Sean Combs is saying that you need to be working these hours, so yeah, you need to gonna take it for personal use to take the edge off, right? But then on top of that, he's saying to test out these. Do you know what I mean? Because then, if anything happens to him or someone else that he's gonna give it to, do you know what I mean? He's not gonna try and be liable for it. Do you know what I mean? You have to think. Like, as much as Sean Combs was trying to move very smart with these illegal activities. That's what he was trying to do. But obviously it backfired, which is good because now justice is about to happen. Well, we hope so because well, I believe justice is going to be so because the 99 the success rate that they have 95+%. Ain't no other Anyway, let's keep it moving. So, where was I? This. Give me a second. I understand what's going on with my immune system. What's going on? All right. So, all right. Later corrected, but meant not all drugs were for Sean Combs. A 2022 email showed Brendan Paul ordering narcotics independently. Yeah, and I swear when he was arrested, he said those things were for him, not Sean Combs or something like that. I can't remember how it was. But anyway, Give me a second. I need to make sure I gather myself right now. All right. So again, so still questions aim to disconnect Paul from Sean Combs' enterprise, which is the RICO, which is blind trafficking. But you can't really disconnect. It doesn't make no sense. Brian Still's been weak in this case. I cannot lie to you. He's been very, very weak. Very, very weak, which is good in a sense. But I guess there's no defense to really stand on. But show that you're doing something. You know what I mean? At least show that you're doing something. You know them ways there where there's a group project and everyone else is doing something, but it's like there's nothing else for you to do. Do you know what I mean? Because you know that you're out of your depth. Do you know what I mean? You're out of your depth. That's what that was. I'm not saying he's not qualified to be an attorney. Don't get that twisted. I'm just saying that this case, that I feel that the rest of these attorneys in general for Diddy's defense, I have a feeling that they know he's guilty. Like, you cannot tell me, aside from this whole Diddy trial, yeah, you cannot tell me that when you got the defense versus the prosecution, yeah, whether it's a federal crime or whether it's normal crime or normal court settings, you cannot tell me that the defense, yeah, you cannot tell me that the defense team, or even if it's just one of them, you cannot tell me that if the evidence is blatantly there, that their client is guilty and they plead not guilty, you cannot tell me that they do not see that their client is guilty. You cannot tell me that. All they can do at best is trying to reduce their sentence. That's the best they can try and aim for. And I guess what the way they're trying to argue is, yeah, let's try to reduce the sentence. Not the fact that they're trying to get him off. Let's try to reduce the sentence. But can they reduce the sentence? I don't think so. Because everything to me just seems like Diddy is like he wants to be in control of everything. He wants to control everything because if he knows he's doing something wrong, he can find a way to get himself out of it because it's like, I know what's going on. And obviously, he doesn't want to put himself where he's actually doing the organization because then he's caught red-handed. Come on, man. Anyway, so the emphasis, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. With Joseph, I can't say his name, Joseph Cerciello, he was a special agent, U.S. attorney. Summary witness presenting financial records. Yeah, Cerciello testified for 1 hour, presenting charts linking Sean Combs, American Express, and company fund. Which company fund would be RICO. Personal one, it's a touch and go with that one. But as far as personal funds, personal. As far as company funds, that's a RICO because that's a criminal enterprise because we're using the business. All right. To fund Blankoff's expenses included narcotics per a $780 personal Gucci item text was code for blank for narcotic payments. Cerciello stated the 780 text matches narcotic purchases timing. No cross-examination details were reported due to half-day schedule. Yes. Judge Subramanian admitted the charge under FRE 1006. And so basically the RICO chart shows enterprise funding. Like I said, RICO. The narcotic payments for the Blanco support coercion. So the interstate travel expense confirmed transportation. So again, when it comes down to all of this, I need you to understand one thing and one thing very clearly. Let me answer this in the comment section below. Do you believe Diddy will walk free? Or do you think he will be charged with some of the charges or all of them? Leave your answer in the comment section below because I think he will be convicted of every single charges. And I'm not just saying that for argument's sake. I'm just saying that based on everything that I have gone through from day one to this day. Like, he's guilty. And it's actually quite sad to see someone you've grown up thinking, like, I don't want to say I want to be like him, but I will say that as far as knowing, because there was a time when there was Sean Combs, Jay-Z, and who else was there? And Birdman and Master P, especially the first three that I mentioned. Those are the guys that I thought to myself, as far as businessmen, especially wanted to do music, I wanted to be a music mogul like them. Do you know what I mean? But now I look back at it, I'm like, I'm grateful to God for the way that my life has turned out and continuing to turn out, because it's up to God what God has got planned for me. Do you know what I mean? It's simple as that. It's up to God. And the thing is, you can't wish for what others have. You can wish for it if you want, but you don't know what they went through or what they're going through to get to where they got to. You don't know. So even if you wanted to follow their path, you can't follow their path because you don't know every intricate details. Do you understand? So just be happy to be yourself. Obviously, you still pursue your dreams. Don't ever get that twisted. But the lesson in this is you can't be looking at people and be like and idolizing them, or you know what I mean. Not to say that I idolize, but not you can't you can't put them as your heroes like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm a little bit spiritual here, and it is a Sunday as today I'm recording. God should be your hero. God is a person you should look to. I'm gonna keep it like that. When it's that like that, life is easier. Because then you start to realize, okay, well, if this person did this, then get me, is what it is. Like, but anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, man, it's been a long live stream. Didn't intend it to be this long. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah.